bit too soon last week when I asked about the 10th position. Now that you're on the 9th position and playing against a team like WhaWha. Obviously, the last time you played them, you saw something about them, and they're fighting relegation. What's going through your mind as you face the coming game?
Well, I think the very simple message and something that we are very conscious of is we can't take this game lightly. We can't look at the table. We've never done that, to be honest. We've always respected every team within them being in terms of being the next opponent. It doesn't matter where you stand in the table, in my opinion. I think even in the last weeks that's evident when you look at results that come up. If I'm not mistaken, even they beat Highlanders recently, or fairly recently at home. The game even last week against Chicken Inn beat them 1-0, but it wasn't an easy game. So we have to respect them in that sense, like we would anyways. But in this case, it's what you said as well. I think the relegation fight is even more of a motivation. I think they're going to be playing at home, so they're going to do everything they can to get points. And for us, although maybe we want to look at what we've done previously in these last weeks in terms of being positive, I've always said, what happens in the game beforehand means nothing in the next one. So we're going to have to play probably even better than we have up until now. We're going to have to take this game very seriously and be conscious of the difficulties that we'll encounter. But I do believe, if we do so, if we've got that ability to implement our game, probably a little bit more patience at times that we will need to have. But if we can do that, then we can aspire to have something positive come out of the game as well.
In the first half of the season, Coach, we saw you concentrating on certain elements like the physical part of the players as well. And coming to the last stretch of the games, do you see any fatigue from the boys, or they're all good to go?
Honestly, I don't see it. Obviously, it's getting very hot again, so it makes games a little bit more difficult. But it's something that I've actually assessed and analysed looking at these last games. And to be totally honest, looking at, Kariba with the Cup, with the 2 games with the Cup and League, but especially the game against Rhinos at home, the game against Highlanders in Barberfields, and now the game against Monica as well. I think, if I'm honest, we've gotten to the end of the games in good condition, both mentally and physically. So I think that hasn't been a concern for us. I think the way that we've structured the training, I think the way that we've had our periodization and the progressiveness within it has allowed us to come to this point with minimal muscular injuries, with fatigue being something that we're conscious of but we control. So in that sense, I'm not afraid of it. I think it's just an ongoing process for us.
Guys?
It's an ongoing process for them.
And of course, maybe Coach, just lastly, with the technical staff, what's been happening in terms of bringing the cohesion of the players, everybody else, so that at least you're fighting on the same path, so that everybody has got this understanding that this is the team, we want to make it happen?
The players have been unbelievable. That's been, for me, my greatest sense of pride, if you like, for me possibly my greatest accomplishment in terms of what I'm happy with looking back or reflecting on this year. It'll be a year on Tuesday that I arrived here for the first time. So for me, the group, the players have been astonishing. I've always said as well that they're the ones that deserve the recognition in terms of how we play, in terms of the quality that we have. It's them individually that make that collective come out. In terms of belief, in terms of what we play for, in terms of objectiveness, in terms of motivation, that hasn't been a difficulty for me, to be honest. I think maybe to a certain extent my possible obsession or passion with wanting to win and making them better rubs off on them to a certain extent, but these players are professional. They have that mindset. They've always come in since the beginning, like I said, wanting to help each other and wanting to help this team and this club. And I think that's why we've been constantly moving forward step by step, and that's what we will look to do for these last 6 games as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Coach. But maybe on a lighter note, seeing you are turning 1 next year in Zim, everyone is invited to Clark Road for drinks.
That's right, yes. I'll have more to get the swimming pool done. We'll have a pool party.